So as ever, Plebs coming in with a more solid purple stack than NoBeaches. NoBeaches obviously have got a decent amount of purples coming in, but definitely more goldens than the Plebs team. Plebs always do this; they always come in with more purples than the golds, and it seems to work.
I think
for them
it's
so
very
far.
clever. Yeah, it's very clever. It gives you more opportunities and more stronger pushes individually rather than limiting yourself to just two main pushes. And they get that chance of resetting a couple of times before a push goes. And obviously, purple units, even now, are just as strong as the gold units. So for the most part, depending on what you're doing and how they're using, you've got Murmaloons in there, you've got the Stalwarts, you've got Halberdiers, you've got Fortebraccio, all very, very strong tier 4 units. And we'll be looking to deal some damage going forward here.
Yeah, Murmaloons, especially at the minute, I think are a naughty unit. They're doing so much work in every single battle. I think they are a solid unit right now.
The Plebs have split themselves between A and B. Not as many, obviously, at B area, but there is a couple of heroes down on the B side. They're looking to kind of destroy that wall and destroy the breach as well. You've got Amia, I think it is, over there on the left-hand side, trying to deal damage to that breach. It gives you 4 ways potentially into this map, which is kind of what you have to use. You have to use every single access point and potential way forward on this map, because going into one area like the doorway on the A, you're kind of getting yourself stuck in one little alleyway, which makes it easy for the defenders to kind of defend here. So
obviously with this map all the time, it's a little bit lower as the map seems to have as well, so they haven't got a lot of time to kind of be about on this map. So remember, Plebs are attacking, the beaches are. It's going to be interesting to see how they actually play this, and if NoBeaches does the same thing in their attack, or if they change it up totally.
So the breach on the the left-hand side at B is down, and the gateway is down. So that's already in there, and Ami's kind of baiting himself back and forward. There's also a little scimitar class on the point there, capping B for a little bit, so that'll kind of distract a lot of the NoBeaches players to kind of take them away and try and deal some damage to them as they start to push toward them. And the Ghost Deck picks up that kill, and it's Seekis, as we were mentioning earlier before the match even started, has been picked off his first death so far. Lots of artillery getting placed here on the left side, down at the A side here as well, just trying to look for areas where NoBeaches are defending and where they have units set up. Scouting, also a good way of dealing little damage before they start making a push in, because their supply points on the defending side is a fair bit back from the A point, so it's good to deal as much damage as possible to kind of weaken off and soften up the units before your full health units make a move. And as you can see, there's a wee switch here from.
So it looks like they're all going to hard push A right now, though. Although weirdly, they're all actually climbing off into the wall, so I'm not sure.
Some of them are on the wall. Yeah, they're all trying to set themselves up. I think they're trying to set up artillery here. They're going to try and get a wee position for artillery phases here, because it is a different area in which you can deal some more damage. And nobody on the defending side has actually set up artillery to counter that area at that moment in time, because it's not a normal way to do it. So it's good from Plebs in that way, and it'll stop NoBeaches pushing out towards them. So they've got more people ready to make a push, and they're all set ready inside here. Slowly making their formation used and keeping all their units on the move on a regular. You've got Stalwarts, Modals, you've got ISGs, Murmaloons, pretty much every single unit that you'd expect to be doing an infantry push, with the Shield Maidens in the background waiting around.
So Plebs know that NoBeaches ain't no pushover though as well, so they are really having to focus on what they're doing here.
You've got Baltasar, one of the Plebs players, is close with his Stalwarts. Are setting up grape shots onto the point there, just at the side of C there. A point, sorry, not C. They're trying to bait people forward as much as possible, but there's a ballista that is firing through to the Plebs units.
Look at this rotation from NoBeaches, though, just meeting them head on and stopping any potential push from Plebs there. Real solid play from NoBeaches.
Yeah, good wee counter from the back, but Plebs might have the momentum here to go and push on to A point here if they keep their units going forward and hold off that defense of NoBeaches there, because they are on the A point at the moment. But there's a few heroes that are just stopping that cap pretty much from Kagan. It's on the point there at A. Got a few players like Amia sneaking around in the back supply point, trying to stop that
He's cheeky, isn't he? He's a cheeky monkey going all the way up there. So he's pulling back, what, 2 units and their heroes as well.
Plebs have won this battle, though.
Yeah.
Plebs have definitely won that little battle there on A. They're going to start capping A, and have actually got the momentum pushed here. So NoBeaches is going to have to fall back here. Plebs don't really have tons of units left in their push here, but they have enough to kind of hold off the counter cap here, and they've got the right units for it. Halberdier sergeants are both on it, set up from both areas, so any cav coming down will stop that across the bridge, and across both bridges pretty much. You can see the cav coming in now. They're from
trying their last ditch effort, aren't they? To try and wipe them off of A, but that was a solid defense from NoBeaches, but Plebs just won the hero battle there. So NoBeaches seem to actually now be pushing them back.
That counter cav has worked very well there for NoBeaches. I think Plebs started moving away from the point, which was very interesting. I think that kind of scuppered them a little bit because they had their backs turned to the dagger axe lancers, and then now we've got NoBeaches just flooding the A point here with all of their units. Amia's sneaking up the B again, though. He has managed to almost fully cap it as well himself, and he has a unit of cavalry just waiting around, ready to charge. When the NoBeaches comes in, there we go. There's a B-cav battle going on. Amia's going to sneak off here because he doesn't want any of that. He knows there's multiple heroes chasing after him there. But he's also managed to look how many people are following Amia back there. Lots of units of cav and heroes all trying to make that maneuver back.
So this is it. Now Plebs need to push right now because there's so many units rotated over to B. The longer they wait, the harder it's going to be. It might already be too late, to be honest, because NoBeaches have already rotated all the way back over. Look.
Amia picks up Ghost X, who was chasing him in the background there on the supply point. Well, Amia starts to cap the back supply point. NoBeaches have got themselves set back up on A defense with the ISGs. A lot of grape shots set up there. But now you see players making their move forward with their units, cavalry and all, trying to knock down the units of ISGs on that wall. Very good push there from Plebs coming in. It needs to be all or nothing now with 1 minute 25 seconds left on the clock. They need to make this push in here, and they need to start getting something capped.
This map, the time limit on this map just goes so quick, doesn't it? So quick.
As we mentioned, they have managed to get themselves onto the A point, but the heroes of Onyx are stopping that thing with the longsword jumping on and off the point. They're stopping that cap for a long enough time. Very, very close battle here. We're pretty much even for units, even for hero kills as well, pretty much as it's going.
Yes, Plebs haven't got long. They've got 50 seconds. They have not got time to resort out a push. They need to win this fight.
They have to kill that Fortebraccio off on the A point here and then kill that short sword. And once they've done that, I think they cap it. They've got enough time for it.
I think a couple of people need to start headed to B, though, as well. B is already half capped. Like, it would make sense to send a couple of dudes over there.
NoBeaches are sending more units down from the supply point and down from the respawn area now here to try and stop that A cap here. But you've got Mixu capping B here as well. And is there enough time? 21 seconds to cap it. They only needed a few seconds on A as well. And they're going to grab it. They get it. Just got it. They're going to grab B here as well. Now they're going to get themselves a lot of time now going forward, and this is where the purple unit setup of Plebs might come into factor here now, because
definitely. I mean, you look at the hero difference right here now as well. There are 10 extra heroes alive compared to NoBeaches. NoBeaches are respawning in slowly, but now is the time to push. Now is the time to keep the momentum up and to start deathballing right up to the home base here, because even after they cap C, they're only going to have about 5 minutes or so to actually make something happen.
Only have 51 4-star units, and the rest of it is 3-star and below pretty much. There's like 28 tier 5s, and that's going to like whittle down very, very quickly, because we're down from 706 to 772 here going forward.
Yeah, it's a massive unit difference now, and that's gone down really quick for NoBeaches.
The front, no matter if you think you're losing, you have to keep going. You have to keep persevering and pushing that point as quickly as you can with as many people as you can. The 4-star units of Plebs definitely doing work, but they've got 5 minutes.
They always do, don't they? They seem to, Plebs seem to have it down as to exactly what to bring and how much of it to bring at a certain time, and it always seems to work for them. They're so well versed and practiced and everything in this. They're such a difficult team to beat, although NoBeaches like they are putting the work in, they are putting the effort in right now. Like it is still too early to tell which way this is going to go. I think both teams still have a solid chance of winning this. Amir is still causing annoyance there in the back with his village watchmen or whatever they are.
Yeah, if we look at that setup just now as well, NoBeaches are on that bit beside the long house down the side wall rather than on the top point of the home cap, so that they can rotate either away from that supply point and to the points on the stairwell and back stairwell where Ami are. But so far, Plebs are just waiting to kind of look to see where NoBeaches are going to move to, and then they're going to probably make the move.
Are actually running up towards Amir, look, and they're running around all the way around the back.
Going to be like a split push here. There's less people on that left side there where Amia is, with units and heroes there, so they're going to have NoBeaches rotating, and a Treb. That Treb might be absolutely fantastic as well. That's going to hit them right on top of that stairwell and deal so much damage to that rotating stack of NoBeaches. I think look at all the flood of red. That's it. That's going to be it.
I think NoBeaches just too focused on the main set of stairs there. They've ignored all the people that were coming up behind them to hit them in the butt, and I think that's going to actually catch them out a fair bit here. Unless they can win this hero battle, it's still neck and neck. But
I think they got pinched on the stairwells though as well, and most of the heroes and units are all dying into the Plebs unit. Now all Plebs need to do is block off that stairwell and block off the little alleyway down the side of the supply point, and that is it for Plebs. By the looks of it, there's only 3 heroes alive for NoBeaches, one of which is a spear and a musket, and they're not going to survive long enough with that many heroes chasing after them. And there we go, both of them fall to their deaths now. We're now down to 0. Plebs take the win. Ami picking up that last kill there, and Seekis with the no quarter just before the game ends.
I'll tell you what, that was a naughty first match. Naughty first match, and it just proves my point. You leave Amir to do Amir thing, and he is going to really help out the team. He's made a massive difference there, just being an utter annoyance in the back line, taking supply points and just keeping people away from him. If he can pull 3 or 4 people away, which is what he was doing, that weakens the front line. That makes it so much harder to fight against such an experienced team as Plebs. But real top first game, really, really good. Like we see in the chat as well, we know there's a few issues with the sound and everything and the drops and everything's being fixed upon, so don't worry, they will get fixed and sorted. But that was a naughty first game, Marcus. I enjoyed that.
Very, very, very good.
That was
from
good.
Both sides, to be fair. Very good thing from both sides.
What do we reckon? What do we reckon is going to happen next, though, with NoBeaches attacking? Do we think they're going to be doing the same kind of tactic or something totally different?
I think NoBeaches have great strategy, so I think they'll have a similar idea. If you look at the kind of setup here in general, like the way that Plebs did it, it was slightly different than what we've seen so far. They did manage to break all the breaches down and use from that going forward, which is going to make it a different story when it comes to NoBeaches attack, and maybe they'll try something a little bit different too, because we've obviously seen them in the past fighting on this map, and maybe they've came up with something slightly different, just like Plebs just did there. I'm sure this is a squad that they have as well. They have it in the ability to do it. Very attacking favoured once you manage to gain that momentum push from A and B. Once you've done that, that's the hardest part, I'd say, of the whole map, is the A and B.
Oh yeah, definitely. Once you've broken that defense on A, particularly though, you got to keep that momentum going. And obviously, Plebs did then. NoBeaches never really had a chance to fully kind of recover, and that was what if you've got an experienced team that knows how to use that momentum and death ball all the way from A straight through to C and up the stairs. It's such a difficult thing to defend against. Such a difficult thing.
Like the unit choice has definitely made a massive difference here as well, though. I think I know Beach is going to pick more gold tier units this time going on the attack forward, or are they going to do sneak past and then get his charge to work through? And nobody will even realise he's doing it, which is sometimes a good thing.
It's interesting to see though that NoBeaches are actually using the pleb stat to bring in more purples this time. So I'm thinking they've got a plan though. I don't think they would just think of this on the cuff.
No, I don't think so. They've also got 5 musket players to start with as well. So like they'll deal a lot of damage very, very quickly somewhere. Whether this is to do with their pushing, this is why they're trying to cluster up together with all their infantry pushes before using it. And obviously, if there's cav on the opposition side, cow drops are going to slow the cow drops. So
yeah,
could be part of their tactic here as well.
So here we go, game 2.
So there is a couple of people over at the B side. There is 3 heroes over that side, and there's like the rest, the majority are on the A side push, looking to stay around there. But the guys in B push are just pushing the.
Oh, they're not, are they? They're not sallying out up at B.
That could be very interesting.
My
Oh, they have.
what is this
Plebs.
we are witnessing?
Plebs have opened the gate. They're baiting out rounds with players though. They're just taking a few out. There's one unit come out. Make that
unit shield mains, unit Liao's. 2 units of Liao's going out. Wow, that is a naughty sally out. Obviously, that is going to pull the NoBeaches players over toward that side.
NoBeaches, they have farmers though, and basic units down there though, so it's nothing major. The only other unit that's over there is halberdier sergeants on the supply point. So maybe NoBeaches had a feeling that they would do that, and that's why they had the lower tier units very much ready to do that push.
Yeah. I can see actually why Plebs I think Plebs maybe didn't realise there were going to be so many NoBeaches players that side. And that's why they retreated back in so quickly there.
It was a good rotation from NoBeaches heroes.
That was a naughty move there from Plebs.
Thing is, they're still going to get that gate down, even though they wiped all that unit. It was just a lower tier unit, so it wasn't major. The village watchman managed to push the barricade down, and now they'll be starting to do some damage on the breach, which is down on the left-hand side, and the breach on the right, and gate and the A push is both down. So all 4 opportunities of moving in are ready and available for NoBeaches going forward. It looks like the Plebs have set themselves a lot up in the A point here.
It's interesting because NoBeaches look like they are split pushing right at the back breach there and the main gate towards A.
So Plebs, they're doing what Plebs did. They kind of got a few units onto the point, but they're building some ballistas up on that B side where they've managed to get onto the wall there. A couple of heroes and a couple of units with like ISG, shield maidens, and halberdiers are set up there and trying to build some artillery on the wall for B. But there's nobody at B, so a lot of the boys.
At all. So are they waiting until they start capping and then they're going to charge forward? Or
there we go. There is the capping of B being done at the moment in time, while A push is kind of slowly making their way into the breach.
Yeah, I mean, NoBeaches players over at B there are very unsure as to what Plebs are doing, which is why I think they've only got 1 hero on B at the minute. They haven't got one hero that's going to get picked off here. He is going to get knocked out here at this point in time, and Mixu is getting ganged up on. Cycle Wagon gets the first kill there on Mixu, and then you see the full push now coming in on the B side there. If we just raise ourselves up a little bit higher, we can see the push coming in A and B simultaneously. Yeah. So the A is getting cleared. A is getting cleared quite rapidly as well in terms of their attack. But B looks like it's definitely starting to become a bit of a juicy battle over there.
Yeah, B is very much in favour of Plebs now with a couple of cap charges that come in, the stalwarts that are there, but it looks like NoBeaches cap going.
NoBeaches taking out all that cav just pouring in through the gate there.
He's coming through with his wing hussars here. He puts a charge straight in through the halberdiers, but they'll just fall to their death here, and B will be taking because the full rotation of Plebs is just not happening here.
Plebs are very slowly starting to react now, though. They are starting to head towards B. They've stopped it with a second or 2 to cap it, and I think they are probably going to clear it at this point. The beaches have not got long to set themselves back up, though.
Oh, the Liao charges are coming in now, though, from Plebs here on the B point, and they are wiping heroes here. You see the side going down red. Lots of NoBeaches players are falling to their death here. It is 10 versus 11 heroes, and B was literally a second away from capping, but Plebs have managed to push off the push of NoBeaches, and NoBeaches now rotate all the way around to A as quickly as they can, because all NoBeaches
they are going in one by one, though, and this is going to hurt them because Plebs are already rotating all the way back over to A. They are now starting to pick up the pace very, very slow. Not sure why, not sure if that was their idea, slowly recapping B, but they have managed to get themselves back over to A very, very quickly. This is going to be a difficult battle for NoBeaches. A couple of Trebs coming in to kind of hold people back, but
they are managing to cap a little bit there at the same time, though, and all the Plebs players are starting to come in, and it's like they're waiting for their time. They're all sitting behind that tower, ready for an opportunity, and then they'll take advantage of it here, and then try and wipe the push of NoBeaches. NoBeaches are starting to get all of their infantry pushes ready and all their units set up in the gate.
For this, though, NoBeaches getting attacked by both sides by the Plebs, which is going to be really difficult to kind of fight against now. They are slowly getting pushed back as well. They are dropping in hero number. There's some decent traps coming in, but I don't
could be
think
a
it's going
very
to be
good trap
enough.
here, yeah. And actually to push the units of Fortebraccio that are pushing in here at this moment in time. But NoBeaches have looking like it. More units on the point here, ready to push, and they've got plenty of grape shots all set up here, trying to wipe all these heroes out. Because NoBeaches are on 13 heroes alive, but Plebs have only got 9 alive at the moment, so they have the advantage of the heroes. And all they need to do is push forward onto that point here, and they will have the opportunity to cap A point here. And it was not far off of capping B as well, so they'll cap that fairly quickly afterwards.
There is a NoBeaches player actually trying to cap B right now. I think Plebs have already seen it, so they're stopping that.
Yeah, they managed to kill him there, maybe A will be done. I think A is going to be capped here in the next second here, and it'll give them 3 minutes and 50 seconds available on the clock, with B about to be taken as well, which will give them up to 5.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to see the little horn be captured. Actually see, it'll be interesting to see where Plebs start to make their defense. They're looking to be setting up at the longhouse as things stand between the supply point and the home point, just like NoBeaches did on the last battle here. Didn't work for NoBeaches because the rotation was a little bit slower, I think, and that's what kind of was the downfall, pretty much. Like Amya's units were on the left hand side, and you got plenty of people rotating quick enough to go in there and push from that side and pinch NoBeaches on the defense. So our Plebs are able to work around that and figure out a quick way around the rotation and make sure they don't get the same thing done to them.
Plebs have managed to actually sort themselves out very, very quickly for this defense, though. Look, they've got loads of IPGs, they've got loads of halberds, a unit of 40s in there as well. So this is going to be a tough one for NoBeaches. Obviously, they're just going to give C for free here.
Yep.
Which adds on, what, another 2-3 minutes or so?
Yep.
How many trebs have we still got? We've still got 5 trebs. Still got 5 trebs. That's a little
still
bit
still 13 pieces of artillery as well.
Down, but
yeah, I think that's
it's a bit of a panic treb, I think, that one.
So, NoBeaches, in terms of unit-wise, over in favour of NoBeaches, but when it comes to like 4-star units, they're pretty close. There's not a massive difference in terms of 4-star units, but they've also got more 5-star units available, Plebs. So maybe that'll swing things. Is it cavalry? Is it the Liaos that are still alive that are ready to use when that push comes in from NoBeaches as they start making their way up past the longhouse? Plebs start to rotate backwards a little bit, so they're not on that little alleyway, but they'll be more in a position to be trebbed as NoBeaches make their move forward.
We can see NoBeaches here. They are not going for the main stairs. They're not going around the back at all. They're looking like they are just solid pushing up that little hill up towards the base point there.
Well, look how quickly Plebs managed to reset, move themselves around, and avoid any conflict. Pretty much, they're trying to avoid it going into the battle here, making sure that NoBeaches waste time by going back and forward and set themselves up here. As they move around the back right-hand side, supply point side, and looking for an opportunity to take advantage of Plebs.
NoBeaches have just rotated around, look to the other side of that house. Plebs have seen it, and Plebs are ready. They haven't got far to travel when they're setting up this defense. That's the thing. That's why you want people going up the back really, as well as this front kind of portion of the map.
There's a lot more clustered up there for NoBeaches, though, and it does look like the opportunity will be in favour of them with the amount of units and heroes going forward at that point in time.
There is a poleaxe that just ran into the back of everything. He would have been better jumping on the base point, I think, there, because that would have pulled people back away. It's just a massive melee on this top of the hill, though, isn't it?
And NoBeaches making the move forward. All their units are moving forward as heroes are falling, units are falling. NoBeaches have the advantage here with almost a 400 unit advantage here going forward. Players have been wiped off the board here, and all the heroes have just got wiped here as well.
NoBeaches are winning this hero battle. So 10 Plebs still stood up, 9 Plebs now. 3. Okay, that's just dropped very quickly.
That is it. That's a very quick falter here, and you all of a sudden you're down to 1 hero alive as NoBeaches I've done it with 5 minutes to spare, by the looks of it.
Yeah, that is an absolute solid push. NoBeaches there.
Look at the difference in units here as well. There's nothing you can do here on the defensive side. With 180 units, most of which are tier 1, are not going to be able to do anything at that point. That is another win for the attacking side with Zenga picking up the MVP on the attacking side there. But you've got Sickle Wagon. There are about 7 hero kills for Sickle Wagon. 7 hero kills.
16 assists, look. 16 assists as well. So everybody else has kind of got decent scores, but kind of average scores. But Sicko Wagon definitely there was the he was top hero killer by a long shot. That attack from NoBeaches just seemed to be kind of not really doing much, and then all of a sudden just totally went in their favor, and they've just stormed it. Like we saw the hero amount drop from 10 to 3 instantly. Like, that's a huge drop in number.
It's a very similar fight in terms of like stats wise to the attack of Plebs as well, like unit wise and hero wise. Like it kind of was like the reverse in a way, in which like NoBeaches picked up 37 hero kills there, and when only 17 for Plebs, and it was similar on the other way around as well. On the attack, they were picking up a lot more hero kills, and that was obviously stopping you getting anywhere in the defense if you're losing too many heroes and too quickly when the push comes in.
Yeah, that was a naughty attack. Really good attack again. Again, A and B were the toughest kind of contention points there. There was only what?
Better to use them just now over. They are slow though. They are very, very
They're
slow.
slow, but their HP, their health is much higher and so much higher, especially with no doctrines as well, which none of these units have. Like, it makes a huge difference, I think, having that higher base pool of kind of health going straight in with.
We'll wait and see what happens here with on the attacking side, artillery wise, they've got a lot of grape shots, a few mortars, but grape shots don't really tend to come into play at the very start. It seems to be the more for the attacking side. But yeah, most of it, a lot of pipe players as well from the NoBeaches side, and then a lot of musket players on the defensive side of Plebs here as well. So they'll be looking to destroy as much artillery as possible because the attackers have so much to use.
That's it. And with no Shenjis and with no Zikalians, actually the musket players could make all the difference right here.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a little bit slower starter than we did see with Healing Forward. You're going to see people using the built-in artillery on the map, trying to defend and use like knockout artillery pieces and destroy the walls, for example, which the bombards will do down that right-hand side breach. And then obviously we'll see the siege towers making their way towards the wall.
Marcus, I don't believe what I'm seeing. Look, they may actually be defending A and B here.
Oh.
Or are they teasing me? Are they going to pull this back as soon as they...
They might be teasing you. Maybe they heard you. Maybe they heard us. Maybe they want to see something different. I don't know. But it's camos. It's camos, halberdiers, camos, and halberdiers. Everywhere.
Well, there's a couple of the Iron Reaper unit I see in there. A couple of Imperial Spear Guards.
Yeah. There is ISGs there and stuff there, but... Wait, are they going to catch NoBeaches out here with a defensive anyway? But there is mortars going over the top, so they will spy that. NoBeaches aren't silly. They will use them mortars, scan out, see, realize that Plebs have people set up here in different positions. But Plebs are using their own artillery to destroy siege towers. So they don't have much in terms of the defense. They only start off with 15, and they're gonna be using 4 of them so far.
Yeah, I was gonna say the 4 have already been put down, which is actually a fair amount. That's almost a third already in the first kind of minute of the game.
The interesting thing about it as well is they've not actually destroyed a siege tower while doing this or done anything about it. Like, I don't know what the mortar's doing over there. If what he's using that for, whether it was a bait tactic, trying to bait in some traps, but I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yes, I'm intrigued. I'm glad we are seeing this map being played slightly differently. I am all for A and B kind of defense, to be honest. We have seen one team already in CBL do it, and it worked for them. Maybe they were just expecting NoBeaches to expect to get A and B for free, and they're hoping that this may actually put a little fork in their plans, may actually kind of interrupt with what they're thinking is. NoBeaches are probably now going to be slightly worried, slightly panicking, thinking how are we going to actually get a foothold up on these walls and then take over A and B, because Plebs have got some solid units down there. They've got some real big, heavy-hitting units. NoBeaches going to have to break through to get onto these points.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You
So
see
NoBeaches
Plebs
maybe rotating all the way around to the breach there, though.
Yeah, Plebs are rotated completely as well. They went up onto the wall with their units and then moved them away. Like, very interesting. They were just killing low tier units, but very interesting strategy there from Plebs to rotate to the units. All of the beaches though are kind of going to the right hand supply point here. They're mustering up together, getting all 15 of them potentially ready to make a move through that breachway. And obviously, NoBeaches will be looking to try and cap that supply point as one of the first things to do if they are coming in from that breach side.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do here, to be honest, because Plebs are moving their units back and forth quite quickly in response to the way NoBeaches are going. It looks like NoBeaches are kind of going breach. Are they going breach? Or
Are
is
they
that just
baiting
a little
breach?
feign? Is that a little bait and switch I kind of smell there? I think it might be, you know?
I mean, the heroes are going and the units are staying, so I think one of the heroes there moving up to make it look like he's going that way, making sure a lot of players boys start to rotate, and then you'll see a big quick switch. But at this point in time, there isn't very much movement in terms of unit wise on the attackers, but plenty of movement from Plebs, making sure they're not going to get themselves with their pants down.
So NoBeaches they are going through the breach and they're going to be going full force through that breach on the side there. Plebs are meeting it. Plebs are coming up to the supply point. They are rotating all their halberts and everything. We have got a cheeky NoBeaches pike unit all the way over to the left. Possibly going to go through the B side breach, but majority of NoBeaches
coming in here on the supply as well. Plebs going to try and hit a little bit, maybe not very much going on there, but there's a few heroes trying to pick off the units. You've got Tisu and Cinetic up there on the musket players trying to drop some bombs on the units that are pushing through the breachway, and then you've got Seekers just above them as well on the far right hand side there. All dropping bombs, dealing some damage and trying to stop the units pushing in. Got Kagan as well, which got halberdiers pincing here in the units, but they will get picked off very quickly by all the pike players that come flying in through the gateway.
Look at that big old push from NoBeaches coming in right now.
Ayuka's set up a grape shot as well, but that's been taken out here from Plebs. Plebs start to push back at the NoBeaches attack on the supply point.
So we have got a unit of cavalry actually rocking through the streets at the minute, not doing too much in terms of kind of helping.
Looks like
we've
Plebs
got
are
another
losing.
cavalry unit coming through the gate right now as well. The Plebs are definitely winning that battle on the supply point.
Yeah, well, the Plebs did start losing a little bit of B here with a unit that was in the background there, but they had managed to stop that. But in that meantime, that unit of Cab does come into the back of the Plebs defense. And it does look like there's plenty of red heroes here from the attackers here. NoBeaches is pushing themselves onto the point and have the advantage here with 11 heroes versus 8 here, and they will grab that supply point as the fight goes in down towards A.
I literally looked away for about 20 seconds and they've taken the supply point. That's mad.
It's crazy. It's been a quick push there from the NoBeaches lot. They have managed to wipe most of the heroes, and there are only 4 heroes on the defensive side, 2 of which are fighting down to try and cap and stop the cap of A at the moment in time. Vasectomy is the one surviving there as the short sword, and then you've got all the respawners coming back in from Plebs, jumping off the wall and just trying to stop the cap.
Yeah, it's jumping straight down, aren't they? With no units, they're just going for it.
That's an issue I find though in terms of defense, because your units are so far behind you, and if you pick off, if you get killed before you get your unit, you've just wasted that extra death for no reason. But Plebs have so much cavalry coming in, but the Treb is perfectly timed on the stairwell and will stop a lot of units there moving down that gate.
Even if it doesn't kill a lot of units, it's slowed them down. Plebs pulling back all the way to C. Are they going to... Oh, it looks like they're actually falling all the way back now to the supply points. So they are setting up what they usually do.
Yeah, it makes sense to do that because NoBeaches do have a momentum push here going forward. They'll cap A. They've got one hero sneaking off in the background there to go and cap B as well in the meantime, as NoBeaches are setting themselves up on the plateau. Plebs have actually sent
come back
units
into
back
C.
into
this
C.
is a surprise.
If we look above it, if you just get a wee bit of a better aerial view there, you'll see the setup here coming in from Plebs. And they're setting up inside C. Camera, we look above just a wee bit here so we can see these units. There we go. And inside there you can see the stalwarts set up. You've got grape shots set up on the defense here as well on the walls. And then units of ISGs all ready and prepped, ready to move around the area of C. They're also defending the supply point here as well with it's only village watchmen, but they have units on the supply point there just to keep that supply point alive. And there's
It just buys them time. If they see that people are going for that supply point, they can rush there and sort it out, even with a trash unit sat on that supply point.
exactly. NoBeaches have plenty of time though. They have the 200 unit, well, 102 unit advantage. They have the artillery advantage with 18 pieces of artillery to be used, plus the artillery they've already set up down on the supply point there. They're going to use
11
that.
trebs still as well. There's still a fair amount of trebs. They're going to be saving some for the base point.
For sure.
That's still a decent amount of trebs to have at this point of the game. It's plenty of time to play with as well, though. 9.5 minutes.
They have the hero advantage as well. As you can see, they've got 39 hero lives available against 28. And there is nobody on the plebs side who have 3 lives left. All of them have been...
Two only have actually 1 life. So they need to start playing very careful right now.
Very safe, yeah. As you can see, obviously, the right-hand side breach here up at the C point has not been taken down yet. It's not far off of being taken away, though, so that's not an option yet. But they might be keeping that up as long as possible to use that in their attack as well, because NoBeaches and the plebs, because of the way they're defending it just now, it's sometimes an advantage to have that walkway available until you need it, because you might use that as a flank until the last second.
Looks like plebs are actually using NoBeaches kind of tactic of keeping all their units kind of well away, either down at the bottom of that little tower on the corner, or they're still down at the supply point. NoBeaches look like they're setting up for something here.
They keep moving back and forward, don't they? They do keep moving their moves back and forward. They are still using artillery though, so that is a bonus.
Amir getting caught out there. He's trying to. I'm not sure what he was trying to do, but he was right at the back on the walls there, trying to sneak around, and he just got absolutely pounced upon.
Do we see a Treb come in here now, and do we see NoBeaches making that move straight away, or is this just going to be making plebs rotate to think that that's what they're doing? As NoBeaches start to make their way around the right-hand side through the tight alleyway, which is really difficult to go in through there.
Yeah, it's a really difficult bit to attack that.
General Reaper uses his ability as a short sword, knocks down the units, and the push does come in from that
all
gateway.
this cavalry's coming in through the gate right now, though. It's lining up, it's going, it needs to go now. It's going to be out of time.
Yeah, it looks like it. They've managed to get units of halberdiers on the gateway, though, to protect that and stalwarts, so that would have been protected very well from plebs. Av comes in now, though. There comes the Dagger Axe Lancers making the move in, but will be taken out by the halberdiers that are in the gateway. And plebs have managed to deal with that first push, but as you can see on the wall, you have got NoBeaches, heroes, and units on the wall on that little walkway part that we were talking about. But plebs have managed to make units move up towards that and make their way across to try and defend the units on top of the wall as Cav comes in from the front gate still.
NoBeaches are dropping in the hero number, though. They are on C point right now, but
yeah, they have the advantage on C.
I've actually all of a sudden lost quite a few heroes, but there are some camels coming in through the main gate.
Lots of grape shots set up here from NoBeaches, though. They're aiming down onto the C point, so anybody capping C point is managing to get stopped because of the grape shots. And here come units of camos coming in from the Madchin. He's going to set up his camos surely at the breachway or at that gateway so that they can't get themselves back into the fight on C. But
this is kind of neck on neck on C at the minute. NoBeaches, they're kind of clustered up.
At this point.
Plebs are all the way around. As NoBeaches are coming in more and more, though, and plebs, a lot of the pleb players only have 1 life left. They need to really be careful at this point.
Have to watch here for sure. Like, it's so close to capping as well. Well, it's so close in terms of like the amount of units and heroes that are coming in on the attack side. It looks like they have the advantage here. But you've got Haita coming here with units just in the background through the gateway with camos. But I think they are going to get picked off before they get the chance to even be used. Yes, they are. They are already wiped, and NoBeaches will start capping. They're using all of the artillery up there to deal some damage here as well. And there's no heroes alive enough to defend the C point here. But as you can see, nobody on NoBeaches is actually capping a point there for a few seconds there. They let that go and they started to make sure they defended the gateway. Pleb setting up in the gate and have another setup here now at C. So it's like they've defended inside C, now they're defending outside the edge of C, and they defended A and B. So they're defending every single point, which obviously slows down the cap.
Yeah.
But there's still 8 minutes left and very little units left on both sides, really. We're very, very close units and hero wise.
Oh, realistically, Plebs only have one solid defense left in them.
They
12 of their
definitely do. Yeah.
players now are on one life in comparison to 4 NoBeaches. They are over 100 units down as well, which isn't great. They've only got 5 artillery pieces left. There's going to be a tough defense, even for the 7 minutes. This is going to be a tough defense for them.
For the most part, it is like half and half split though on the Plebs defense side in terms of 4-star units and then 1-star units. So there's a big difference in terms of the unit quality that we have. But NoBeaches for their attack have predominantly 4-star and 1-star units as well, but a few tier 5 and still some
tier 3 as well, isn't they?
Yeah. So very, very good options, and obviously all the trebs available still. Eight of which, or is it? Yeah. Eight trebs and 8 artillery left.
Yeah, so Plebs are. I'm not sure how I would play this personally. I think I personally would probably pull all my boys back to the base camp now. Set up every single grape shot they've got. Yeah. I don't know. I think with the numbers they've got and the artillery they've got, it's going to be difficult to defend both the gateway and the breach.
In fairness, though, because there is only 7 pieces of artillery for the attackers left as well, they've kind of managed to make them use it, which is exactly what they want going forward, because it depends on what units artillery they have left. Say they've used a lot of their grape shots in that first couple of pushes, and then they go to home for NoBeaches and they don't have grape shots and most of it's mortars. It's not going to really help them against the defensive side of Plebs. So,
but then you've got to look at the unit quality they've got. Obviously, NoBeaches still have far better and far more units than the Plebs do. Plebs are picking up a few hero kills here, which is going to help them. This is going to be a tough one to defend against them. I would not like to be Plebs right now. I think my pants would probably be turning brown at this point.
I mean, 6 minutes left. They still got plenty of time for NoBeaches in the attack here, but Plebs have obviously got to try and figure a way out to not allow the push of Plebs, the NoBeaches push come in first off. The first push that they make, they have to try and wipe that. If they wipe that, then they're standing a good stead going forward. But obviously, there are so many people that can die on Plebs and not come back into the battle, and that is where it makes it very, very difficult.
Surprising.
You see how many camos NoBeaches have though? Like there is so much camos.
And the Murmilons are just like,
and so much cavalry though. Like it's a very interesting because on the defense, that much there's like more Fortebraccio as lots of them. So lots of Fortebraccio halberdiers.
I can understand camels on defense, so they're a good solid unit to hold for point and to hold kind of choke points and bottlenecks as well, aren't they? Because they're so big. They're so big, and they're sort of pain in the butt to try and get around.
It's just when you're rotating them around, it's very difficult, I find. So like it'll be easier for Plebs to kind of out-rotate them because they are camos, unless you're just keeping the camos set in that one spot where they're not moving them whatsoever and they're just holding them there. And their formation's a little bit more spread out. So, I mean, it doesn't make it too difficult, but difficult enough to be a nuisance.
Yeah, to cause annoyance.
Yeah. So, NoBeaches are not looking to defend A or B, and instead you see their units all rotating very, very back here, and they actually look like they're not even defending inside C either. I think they're looking
might
to
be dropping it, mightn't they? So they're not going to be going for their tactic last week.
Yeah, it looks like they're defending all the way behind the back of C. Unless that's just, and this is just it's just a bait to make it look like that. But they have got Fortebraccio and the halberdiers all faced and all set up at the back of C gateway. All the heroes will start to make their way around as well with their units of cavalry, whatever else they have. As you have a lone musket high up there, Amia is being the spectator. His eagle eye view that he has in the position he is. He's spying out the map, looking to see these opportunities, and he'll probably call out to his team to let them know The AB is free, supply is free. What are we doing from here? That's it.
There are a few NoBeaches players sitting on C there, so I'm not sure if they're going to be defending this or not. If they are, I can see there's only going to be a couple of units, and mainly heroes.
They maybe because they know that that's what they've been defending it. Like maybe they try and keep a
Yeah.
few units in there to make it look like they're still going to do that, and they'll be the baiting kind of units. But the halberdiers do kind of, as you mentioned, as we mentioned it, do drop back behind the gate and are no longer there. But the heroes stay visible at the front.
Yeah, so it's going to be, if they give B and C for free, it's going to be such a long fight for them to defend against Plebs, though.
Yeah,
Such a long
definitely.
fight. Plebs haven't used any of their artillery yet. They've got 30 pieces, and they are going to be setting up mortars like any minute now and start raining down on all of those units. It's all well and good putting up your units ready to defend the archway and breach, but they're so vulnerable to mortar shots, especially blue mortars. Yeah, not the most damaging of things, but after you set up about 10 of them and they all rain down on the same place, they are going to be killing units
It
fairly rapid.
almost becomes like a trebuchet. Smaller dealing damage units, but all in one big cluster all together, and does deal enough damage to wipe units if you time and hit all in the same time, pretty much. But so far, plebs haven't really set up any artillery yet. They are yet to. They've set up one piece of artillery and used one treb, and the defense haven't used anything yet so far. So
No.
it is just
It looks
a
like NoBeaches
waiting
are kind
game
of
here.
defending C with the heroes, but they're not looking at putting themselves at risk at all. So they're just kind of playing for time a little bit here.
Making sure that they just kind of keep the boys off of plebs, but then they realise to drop back as soon as things happen. We do see a plebs game player leave the battle there, so that might have been an issue there with it dropping it. So hopefully they get back in the game there. But NoBeaches have, like we said, have dropped C. The heroes have dropped back. Plebs do make their way into the point of C, and now they will start to use their artillery placements and setups here at this point.
Yeah.
As you see, some units of NoBeaches dropping back and moving different positions here, but nothing too strenuous, not moving too far out of the way. There is ballistas going up through the gateway here from the longsword of General Reap. He's looking to set up a ballista and try and pick off some heroes here. He cancels. The typical, we'll bait it and then we'll decide against it.
So yeah, the plebs have got so much time now. They've got 15 minutes plus in order to set up their attacks. 60 units up, so not a huge amount of advantage in terms of units, but
yeah, the strange thing about it is they keep using the trebs though. They keep using the trebs and not like that was at a tower, but I don't know what they were aiming at there. That literally hits the tower, but there's nothing on the tower. There wasn't even artillery on the tower either, so I don't know if that was unintentional or they were meaning to try and hit the breach. There's a nice
see they are starting to put up a lot of mortars now, though. Instantaneously, they've put down 9 pieces of artillery now. Still 12 trebs to go as well.
We've got plenty of muskets on that wall as well, plebs. Just dealing damage to the units in the background. So where the mortar isn't hitting, the muskets will see that and they'll deal the damage with all their grenades and their caltrops and everything they can possibly do to whittle down the units of NoBeaches that are on the defense. All these muskets are moving all together. They're not even staying as individual musket players. They're pretty much all following each other around the map on the top of the wall there and making sure they all hit the same targets so they can multiply the amount of damage dealt on the defensive units. There's a nice sneaky ballista inside that tower from Vasectomy. I don't know if it's managing to pick anybody off, but it's a very interesting hidden slot that Vasectomy has in that tower. He will pick off heroes that go onto the breachway. I think he hit Sickle Wagon there as well. Sickle Wagon got a real smack and had to back off where he was. Yeah, plenty of mortar shots going in from plebs. But NoBeaches just, as always, rotating their units around the map to avoid as much damage as possible.
Right, I kind of zoomed off of the map there and found a load of cardboard cutouts of models that I was quite interested about. Yeah, not much movement in terms of the attack at the minute, though. They are just buttering stuff up here. Again, they're not taking out a lot of
The
units, but
mortars are doing some.
they're
Yeah,
just
I mean they're doing
buttering
some
them.
work, but it is hitting ISGs and there is healers up. Oh, they're doing some work down there. A couple of long swords, 3 long swords per se on that kind of area, making sure they don't lose so much health.
And these muskets up on the walls are just putting the work in, though, chucking those bombs down.
There goes a
Eyes on.
javelin throw as well in the background there. That's a nice wee javelin throw. Hits up a couple of units, but
Tell you what, I'm
nothing
glad we
major.
started seeing a few more jabs being used. The jabs
Uh,
are an
I love
understated
javs.
unit.
I absolutely love javs. I had javs on the other day in a siege, and I was having so much fun with them. It's such a good unit to use if you can get it right. Some days you have a terrible game with them, but sometimes you could just wipe units and wipe
Yeah.
heroes so well if you use them correctly. And that's what they were trying to do them here. They're trying to use them as another way of whittling down the defensive units here as they wipe off Fort Braccio that are
So
moving.
Plebs have managed to knock down NoBeaches to 100 units kind of disadvantage now. So they are slowly whittling them down. Still plenty of time for the Plebs to play with it. 13 minutes to make a solid push. NoBeaches, looks like a few of them are starting to rotate back to the base already. A couple of cav units set up there. They've got a load of people on the side steps ready for it as well, with a Fort Braccio at the top. They're starting to set themselves up.
At what time do you reckon they start thinking about their first push here?
Usually with the Plebs, it's just around the 10-minute mark. So I reckon either 10 or 11 minutes they'll make their first kind of attack.
Amir got picked off from Sickle Wagon there. Ooh.
About 10, 11 minutes, we'll see the first kind of push. I think they'll probably take the supply point. NoBeaches seem a little bit weaker on the defense of the gate here, so I think they're going to suffer a little bit there if the Plebs full stack them. Then it's just going to be a real battle again, using artillery and everything. Trebs for the base cap, though.
Yeah, obviously, Plebs on the attack haven't destroyed the little breachway either yet. They're still keeping that as an option for now. But now, as I mentioned, it's almost as if I scripted this. The breach goes down unless that was the defensive side doing it, and we were like, well, we'll destroy that now, and that was part of their plan, and we'll wait and see. But
Plebs are bringing up some heavy hitting units, bringing up some camels and everything, stacking them onto sea. So they're starting to get ready for something.
It's the unit that's here with QT. He's just sitting there behind the tower, waiting. I wonder what his plan is doing. He's just been hidden in that spot for ages.
I can't get over how many muskets the Plebs have got up on these walls, though. Like they must be just absolutely raining down the damage.
Still got the kind of similar advantage, though. Still the 100 units advantage here. When you're looking at the unit advantage, though, for the most part, we have the advantage in the tier 5 section and the tier 4 section, so it's good. And then the less of it for Plebs. They've got a lot of tier 1 units, 269 tier 1 units. So it looks like loads of numbers, but really, that's pretty much making up that extra 100 numbers. So all about how they use their tier 4, because they are down on tier 4 in comparison to what NoBeaches have out on the map. Getting closer and closer to that 10-minute mark here.
They're looking like they're doing something. They're starting to get ready for something.
NoBeaches are starting to move. There's units coming up on the wall with javelins. Plenty of javelins this time. It's like 3 sets of javelins on the wall there. And now they're starting to make a move. You can see some of Plebs making their way along the breach and making their way out of with the shield maidens out towards that gateway. Or are they just faking that movement? They are slowly
looks like
moving.
A few of them, I think a few of these musket players are going back now to actually start picking up their units. We're going to be seeing movement. We're going to be seeing an attack in the next minute, 2 tops.
Yeah,
so I'm not far off. I'm not far off my prediction.
Not far off. Not far off. The units of NoBeaches are definitely windowed down at the gateway there. There's definitely a lot less than there was prior to the artillery phase. In the grand scheme of things, though, nothing major losses, though, but enough to defend this gateway and breach. But Plebs have got the disadvantage here because they are 1 map down and they do have to win this one here. So That would be. It's not even an upset really, but Plebs have been in the final, the last CBL, and have pretty much won a lot of the other tournaments that have been held with the community, because they're a very strong squad. And if they were to fall to here to NoBeaches, that would mean that NoBeaches have put in a very good amount of practice and scrimming time and learn from
Just gonna
mistakes in the
stop you there,
past.
Martaro. Looks like we're moving. Looks like we're going towards the breach. Look.
There we go. That's a full cluster.
Round. Although they're not actually going through the breach, so is this again another little cheeky bait and switch? Are they going to change?
Sickle wagon on that wall.
So many still on the wall.
Sickle wagon's using that grape shot just to deter all the heroes on the side of the breach here. But Plebs mook their way back into the C point here. Heroes are starting to move her, but NoBeaches didn't move too much, so they don't have to reset up or anything. They've not caught them with them all facing the other direction or that. But they're going to have to keep doing this, Plebs, and have to do it quickly.
And the Plebs there were just kind of testing NoBeaches' reaction time and rotation and everything, seeing what they were going to kind of try and block off the breach with. I expected Plebs to have moved before this. They are starting to slow down the play a little bit. It's always slow during an artillery phase, but Plebs tend to go where they've got time for another push or two afterwards as well. So it's interesting.
Players make their way into the gateway very, very quickly there. As we were speaking there, Stalwarts moving themselves in, and the units of Camos trying to get themselves in. IPG walk though from NoBeaches was fantastic timing there to kind of stop the full-on push. But Plebs do start making headway.
So right now we have pretty much got every single Pleb player apart from 2 or 3 actually moving through that gateway. Only one is going through the breach.
Agarax Lancer Cav just wiped a lot of the units there in the push coming into the gateway.
That absolute clump of NoBeaches there at the gateway though. They are holding them solid.
Heroes are sticking back into the supply point though to stop that supply point though. In the back there from Plebs. And if they can pick off Ayoko in the back, they will gain that supply point and will gain an advantage here going forward because the gate is shut. So there is no quick response coming down that way. And I don't know if that was Amia sneaking back and shutting that gate at some point, but we didn't even notice it. But that gateway is shut, and that has made an advantage for Plebs to get into the gateway and
if they use it. Here. If they use it right now, all of the NoBeaches boys are spawning back in. They're just going to be setting up on base cap now, and they are actually going to use that gate being shut to their advantage. If Plebs were the ones that shut that, we totally missed it, but they haven't used it at all, unfortunately.
Yeah, they start to break the gate down now very, very quickly, but will the hero manage to open it in time so that they can then potentially close it back again? I don't think they will. I think they're going to let it fall as Plebs start setting back up here. Unit-wise, we're pretty close still. We're not too far off.
No, we're okay. Yeah, we're all right still.
Here in terms of tier 4 units, we're pretty much even. There's a wee bit of an advantage in the defending side.
Plebs are coming up both the main gateway and the side gate. They're starting to stack up on the side a little bit more. Everybody that was going up the main stairs seems to have fallen back and supplied up. They've got loads of cav units ready. Loads of cav units.
Javelins coming in from Bird of Plebs here, trying to whittle down units. They're just going in and out, dealing some damage. But this is going to be a very difficult battle. Now, 6 minutes I find is a very difficult push here. Like, even with good squads, when you find another decent squad, it's very difficult with 6 minutes to do this. You're giving yourself one main push and then maybe a chance of a second one, but a very quick one.
Yeah, that's it.
A very rushed push.
This is still this can go either way at this point. I think this is 2 solid teams fighting it out neck and neck, not giving either kind of inch of ground. They are fighting for every single bit of the map.
Plebs didn't save very many trebs for this either. They've only got 2 trebs left for the final.
Yeah, 10 artillery, which may just be enough.
All grape shots. That's the question. Is it grape shot?
I hope so for their sake. A couple mortars maybe would be useful. They've got 3 ballistas set up on that watchtower at the back though, to the side. So they are obviously covering kind of the base cap and everything with those ballistas.
Next thing about it is Beaches, they managed to open that gate again. So they did actually open the gate. Plebs pushed it in though and go straight to that right-hand side to cut off all the units that could potentially come back in. They set up halberdiers, but cav charges
Wow, look at all that
coming in the
camel
back there
cav.
from NoBeaches. That was a nice cav charge
Well,
there
a
from
couple of Plebs
NoBeaches.
boys coming up through the main gate as well. Yeah, is
Yes,
that going to pull enough people back and away?
well, it's just the
Sure,
unit
there's a.
camos, and it looks like they're just getting wiped here by the Fortebraccio, and the stalwarts are getting wiped here as well. Another cav charge coming across the point there, and a few grape shots being fired at the heroes as well in the background from Hydra.
It's a
Looks like,
solid defense. This is so difficult to call still. This is
oh, it's
so
a good
difficult
push
to
though.
call.
They're getting a lot of red coming across here. Plebs are managed to make their move forward and push forward onto the point here a little bit. They're getting closer and closer, and there's a lot more red inside the point here at home.
NoBeaches respawners coming in though. Are they going to be able to get up there quick enough to save this
Halberdiers
point?
coming in and cav in the back. Their dagger axe lancers coming in from the back from the supply, and they do some good work in the background here on the Plebs heroes. But unit wise and hero wise, it's very.
What are the Plebs doing though? They're all
Very
falling
much
back
back.
out the main gate. Look.
I know Plebs have got the advantage
What
here,
are they
heroes
doing?
and unit wise, and they are going back. They are forward and back here. I think they're trying to find everybody else as a
I
group.
think had they pushed that, they could have won that there. I think that is actually going to possibly cost them the match. That withdrawal. I don't think they should have withdrawn at that point.
Here comes all the camos coming back in from NoBeaches onto the point. There's Cav coming in the back here as well. Dagger Axe Lancer wipe off the rest of Mixu's unit of Camo Axe Lancers. And it does look like with 3 minutes left, you have the advantage in units,
Got units,
and
200
heroes.
extra units, but
Are they going to be able to use it? It's like 9 heroes have got 1 life left on NoBeaches. But at this point, with 2 minutes left, I'm pretty sure you just use your units. You don't even worry about getting your hero involved until you really need to. And they have the advantage still in terms of that because
NoBeaches still got loads of Howards, still got loads of Camels, they've got a unit of ISGs, they've got some good solid units.
pretty
Plebs
even
coming
on units,
in,
really, in the grand scheme.
stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got 269 tier 1 units, so it does look like they've got the advantage in terms of units. But really, majority of them are tier 1 units and aren't going to win the battle and swing things with it.
Plebs already going straight back in for another match-up, though.
They have to win the fight here with the artillery.
Was not overly organised at that point. That seemed like a bit of a rush kind of attack from the Plebs there. They are reaching through the main gate, but they're losing the battle at the side. Which way is this going to go?
See all the heroes falling here. We're seeing red heroes dying here on the attacking side, so the NoBeaches are holding very, very strong here. Halberdiers do get onto the point though. Are they going to get a perfect position to set up here on the point to start capping? Ami is going to have to work magic on the point there. Well, he tries not to die with plenty of heroes going after him. Ami picks up 1 hero kill here, but Godzilla picks up another one. Onyx Foxy's defended. Caps coming in. Where did it come from? Where did the red sea of red come from? Legit, within a matter of seconds, they start to wipe heroes very, very quickly, and I think they start targeting individual players. And they're going to cap this point. With 1 minute and 25 seconds left.
Where did they come from? They've literally
only 4 heroes in NoBeaches alive. There's 1 musket player trying to survive, and he's going to get picked off. Surely javelins throw at him. There's a couple of heroes. Ami is going to start using his damage, and Plebs pick up the win with mere minute left. A mere minute.
That was
How
a naughty,
naughty
fight at the end.
It went from blue to a sea of red on that point in a matter of seconds. It didn't look like they had anything going forward from Plebs. And I don't know if it was the hero kills at the end there that won that fight for them.
That was incredible.
That was
they just appeared. They literally just appeared from absolutely nowhere. They looked like they were losing that fight. It looked like NoBeaches were winning that. And then all of a sudden, no, it was all red.
If you, like just looking at the stats in general, if you look at the just go straight to that post match analysis just now, and you can see every single battle. NoBeaches won the unit fights. Like they've got so much more thingways for the most part until it gets to like just before the sea push was coming in. They did lose a little bit. That's because of the artillery phase, but for the most part, they were winning. They were like, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. Just a sea of deaths on the side of NoBeaches on the defense, I think, for the heroes. And because of the spawn, like the respawn timing as well.
Probably going to be trying to aim for here. I think they are going to be trying to take 2 base caps and hold them. I think NoBeaches are going to be trying to get the base caps, and then obviously go to the pleb space and try and score a percentage. Even if they get it down 0.01%,
yeah, the smallest
that means they
percentage.
win. So it is. This is gonna be juicy. This is gonna be naughty, Marcus.
It's a
I am
lot
very
of
psyched.
Chevaliers. A lot of Chevaliers for the defenders. Well, we say defenders, but technically they're both attackers at this point because they all have to get points here. But yeah, for NoBeaches here, lots of cav ready, set.
Here we go. Last match of the night. Do you want to call it, Marcus? Who do you think? I don't want to call it. I don't want to say it.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I feel like it's just too close. I don't even know if there's. It could have go 10 to the wire. It's that close.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing the whole 12 minutes played of this.
But Plebs, as you can see, have managed to make the B area push first. They're managing to get to B, and they're into supply point, and they'll grab C together. So they're going to have the double cap to start with. But are they going to stay on the cap, or are they going to go straight towards the home and wait for NoBeaches?
That's weird for NoBeaches to kind of all head towards that kind of direction. That's very interesting. It looks like Plebs are straight away going down toward their base, though. They're going to try and score at least a couple of percentage points here.
I think NoBeaches have planned this. They planned this for them to do that so that they can wipe them as soon as they get to the home point, and then use that as an counter advance. But as you can see, Plebs have scanned it.
Back, haven't they? They've seen it. They've pulled back.
Yeah, Plebs have pulled back.
This is two so well experienced teams and so well versed in this game. Teams going up against each other. Like,
it's a long time as well. 11 minutes here. We've got either hold all the way into the end, pretty much, because it's going to go the way. It's going to go the distance unless you start capping the home point. So you'll see at least 11 minutes of battles unless something goes wrong on one of the sides and they manage to open up home and start capping home point, because it's only once that goes down to 0 will the game end, or till the timer runs out. So we are going to see quite a lengthy amount of time on this map here, and it'll just be people moving left and right all around the map looking for opportunities. There's NoBeaches are just defending that home point. They're not looking to move anywhere. Plebs aren't looking to move because they have the 2 points, so there's no reason for them to try and overcommit to anywhere. They might start picking off heroes, like we have see a wee one in the distance there. A couple of dual blades fighting each other here, and Drop Dead goes to Seekers because Seekers and Amu teamed up on their dual blade of Sickle Wagon, and they pick up the first kill. It also comes down to as well getting hero kills, because Amu's going out in the back here, still trying to deal some kills. But he's plenty of heroes dealing up with Amu, but Amu's so quick and so agile, he'll get out of there. Or will he?
Oh, I don't know.
So
I think
little
even
points.
Amu does get caught out sometimes. We've seen it a couple of times.
Oh, he's done. He's been picked off.
And it's been picked off again.
There we go.
So NoBeaches are definitely playing the slow game here. They know they've got the time. They just need to make sure they've got that extra base cap right at the end of the game. Or right now, Plebs will win it.
In the meantime, or start to rotate units over towards the C point, making sure NoBeaches start moving units away from their home point.
We do have NoBeaches do have a unit of Modals, or they did have a unit of Modals. They've actually they've gone back on.
There is a unit of Modals on the A point still somewhere.
Oh, I keep saying on that base point the whole time.
Yeah, there's units starting to move to that home point, but it's in the distance and it's just making it look like they're going to do something. Obviously, making sure people are moving, rotating. This is what you want to do on a map like this, which is so big and so spread out. If you can spread out as many of the defenders or any side, either way, like, it's the best opportunity if you're sticking together as a group in a cluster, because then you can start picking off units one by one or picking off heroes one by one, and that's exactly what players will look to do if they are going to try and make an opportunity on that home base. There's one short sword that's getting chased here by NoBeaches, but he will get
set
away.
up ready to kind of pounce on B at the top of the, just behind the little mountain there, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind here from NoBeaches. So Plebs can't see them up there unless they've rotated up, in which some units and heroes have, and you can see some units moving around as they set up ballistas. Plebs are looking to set up ballistas to aim at the supply point here. Very interesting strategy here, as you see a unit of cavalry coming on from NoBeaches. Just looking, there's a lot of units rotating around as well. and they've just managed to make units move off of the supply point because of the units of artillery and javelins.
I mean, if NoBeaches right now, with all the Chevaliers and everything, came all the way around that mountain and actually hit B in the butt, I think Plebs would find it very difficult to kind of counteract that right now.
You say that, but if you look at Plebs set up here where they are, they've actually got halberdiers facing 2 different directions in their protection zones behind them. So the units of ISGs and halberdiers at the front, they've also got halberdiers at the back and Fortebraccio at the right-hand side. But not to mention the fact that they've got Javcav defend and run.
Yeah. If I was NoBeaches now, I'd be calling for everybody to just rush B. So run all the way around the left of the mountain, rush down to B. Although Plebs look like they are actually going towards that base cap, which is going to start pulling NoBeaches players back to it.
This is the thing. This is where you need your dual blade in the background, sneaking around, going and grabbing B to tear Plebs' push going forward. Because even though like the point is getting down, if he caps B, they can still cap home point for a little bit as well. That's the thing. So you're committing, if like what Plebs are doing just now, if they fully commit that, they've got to go, because if they don't go, they will lose that opportunity and they potentially lose a cap point behind them as well if they're not paying attention. They are rotating pretty well though, Plebs, making sure they're moving back and forward. They've got themselves down to 6 minutes. They're grabbing NoBeaches' supply point as well at the moment. Well, NoBeaches try to find a way back in the position.
Is this I've spotted as well from the Plebs team, a cheeky unit of Namgan archers. Oh, what a little treat, just raining a little bit of fire down upon their base cap.
Interesting. They are getting picked off, though. Heroes are coming on to grab all them off. They do have some grape shots set up there as well. Ghost X gets picked off from vasectomy, though.
So NoBeaches have kind of stopped that Pleb advance. Is that going to cost the Plebs? Plebs are starting to make their way up towards A.
Yeah, they started making their way up there. A few heroes.
They've got nothing on B. They got nothing on C.
NoBeaches is going to go try and defend A, or are they going to go to B? Like, what would your opportunities be there? Because they've got plenty of people moving.
I was going to say, I'll be chucking a couple of people at least towards B at this point if I was NoBeaches.
Zela gets picked off there from Zowling. There's lots of units and heroes going on to the A point here now, but the Madao are holding strong on the point. Definitely dealing damage, and the calf charges that are coming back in from NoBeaches are stopping that. But as you can keep hearing that constant gong, that is just at risk of the home point, because Plebs have obviously got 2 cap points. Yeah. So they'll always be at risk.
NoBeaches seem to be absolutely storming A, though. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left. Time is counting down very quickly, very quickly.
NoBeaches have managed to secure A completely again. They've wiped off all the units and heroes that were at there. They do still have to compete at the supply point. It does not belong to them. It is Plebs that hold their supply point. And so far, you're just seeing Hussars and what's that? Chevaliers.
Plebs rushing toward the base cap. They're going to try and score at least 1% or 2. Oh, NoBeaches.
I'm just going around the back here with Cinetic. You've got a couple of heroes dying there, though, for the defending side of NoBeaches.
NoBeaches just got to send someone to B or A. They've just got to start pulling people away. They are.
That fight on the supply point, though, is making NoBeaches lose hero kills, though. But their spawn is so close that they spawn in on the home as well. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess in a way.
Straight to the base cap is actually helping them.
Yeah.
Unless
you lose your hero
now
kills.
full stack A, which is what they're looking like they're doing.
Yeah, they've got the opportunity here now for A, because there is only a couple of modals left on that point here. A new unit is just being set up there from Galahad, though, on that home, the C point. So A point.
If Plebs can score this A point, though, and take it, that might just be what they need.
The unit of Cav coming in here. A Winged Hussars charge is coming in here. It is met with some units here of pike camels here as well that stopped it, but a few of them do get through. And another one in the back here from ups on the A point. It's into the back of the dagger axles of Plebs, but here is just a Cav fest on the A point here. Just charges after charges. Fights going on all over. Units. It looks like the Madauzo will wipe most of the hero kills, the units from Plebs.
Yep.
As it is Cav, but.
Because even if Plebs lose this A battle, which looks like they are very slowly starting to, it doesn't matter. They've still got two caps, which means they are going to be.
I'm very surprised that Amia and Sikic just now haven't moved over to the home point and started to kill or tried to kill the longsword on the home point.
I think with the lack of pressure from NoBeaches right now, they just know they don't really need to. Like they haven't tried for C, they haven't tried for B. NoBeaches, you got to put some pressure on. You got to put some challenge on. That's the reason why you're giving Plebs the opportunity to kind of full stack here, is because you're not trying to take these other points.
If you look at the units, right? Look at the units that we have available, right? There is 512 tier 1 units for NoBeaches. NoBeaches have nothing. Like literally, this is it. Like what is good? What tier 1 units have they got with them? What did they bring? Did they just bring tier 5 cavalry and think that was it? Because even though they've got a mass amount of units, they really only have 200 units that are worthwhile.
Yeah.
And Plebs have 400. Easy.
Well, then NoBeaches are starting to go towards B, though, so it's going to start pulling a couple of the Pleb boys back. I think they've realised that, oh, fuck, we best start trying to take some other points
they
at this
can't
point.
beat the last second here, but they don't have units on the point. They have heroes. The camels will stop the cap as well. And, yeah, heroes are just going to survive on that point there. It looks like A and B. A and B is still going to...
Yeah, it looks like Amur is actually going to put some pressure on their spawn right now, though, with his unit of Cav, which is a very naughty player. He's going to keep a few of the boys back at their spawn. NoBeaches, I think they left it a little bit too long.
NoBeaches have won it. Lost it, yeah. I think they've lost this one now because...
I think they've left it too long. There's now a Pleb up on on C, sorry. There is now loads of Plebs up on B. They know they don't need to worry about A. Now they've put the pressure on.
They don't need to worry about anything here. Unit-wise, they have everything. They've got the hero advantage as well, because 9 heroes on NoBeaches are on 1 life. 9. And it didn't even look like that many people were dying, if I'm honest. But yeah, Plebs have done a fantastic job just to grab the 2 points here.
And say 45 seconds left for NoBeaches to take one of these points.
Yeah, so what it comes down to.
All the Plebs have to do now is turtle up on both of these points, and they have got it.
Exactly that, and it looks like they have it. For the most part, they are picking off the hero kills better than NoBeaches are managing to. And obviously, unit-wise, they're not getting the units to the point to help them out in the battles.
The NoBeaches have actually now fully committed to both of these points. They've left A totally undefended. Amur has seen that. Amur's going for A. This is definitely a Plebs game. Plebs have won it. Plebs have taken this semi-final. Still, I told you, though, we were going to be watching that whole match unfold. It wasn't going to be a close match at all. NoBeaches put an effort in. Just a lack of pressure. A lack of pressure from NoBeaches, I think, cost them that.
Definitely. Unit choices as well. I don't know if that's because they picked higher tier units, thinking that they can storm it straight away very quickly, and then realize that Plebs had a very quick response to A and B. What was it? B and C that they had. Yeah, so they had it really quickly.
Yeah, very difficult. So I could see exactly what Plebs were doing there with their more defensive units. Take 2 points, hold them, put a little bit of pressure on the 3rd point. Why NoBeaches didn't put any pressure back, don't know. But I think that's what's cost them there. They ended up having to solidly defend A, and that's what's cost them.
Mixer did a great job there. 105 unit kills. There was a Haita with 104 unit kills here as well. So they're picking up good numbers in the units. And I definitely noticed it in the end when there was only the tier 1 units left, because they picked off all the high tier units very, very early on. Yeah, very, very good job from Plebs.
Shout out to Amur, though. Like, again, field battle or siege battle, doesn't matter.
I think we got to change his name.
He is an annoyance in the back every game he plays. And that is what you need. You need just that one person at the back pulling people back. When he was blocking the spawn, he held 2 or 3 people in that spawn, which would have changed things as well.
Yeah. He worked very well with Seekers. They two always do a great job together. They work together. They target individual heroes when they're caught out, try and pick off that kill. If it's not killing them, they're obviously directing a lot of the attention
to them on there. Yeah, that's the thing. Whether they're killing or not is kind of beside the point. They are causing annoyance.
I think when you see that name as well, no matter what team you are, however strong you are, you still see Amur somewhere. You know, I gotta watch him because he's gonna do something.
Yeah,
you gotta watch him every single time. But every single player in the team has performed very well throughout this whole tournament so far, and they've got themselves into a final for the CBL. So they're going to be looking forward to the next fight up. So they're going to put all the practice in going forward now for the final, whoever they may face.